NASA's already trying to spin their CGI mistakes as other things. So, the plushie toy that had the CGI lettering in it, they're now trying to spin that and say, oh no, that was the television broadcasting. They accidentally put the letters in there, and that is totally explainable. When in history has that ever happened? Just NASA. Just a NASA footage has that. Then they send the doctored footage where they cleaned up the CGI to the news, and now the news is showing you, look, here's what NASA's actual footage looks like. This is the actual footage. Guys, we're smarter than this. They messed up. It's very obvious. You can see it throughout all of the footage. There's green screen glitches everywhere because they're not up in space, because you can't leave this Earth. It's a closed firmament. So the news is going to try to spin it as, oops, my bad. Don't believe it. Press junket. Let's go, people. So what is the comparison between Hollywood movies and NASA? So when Hollywood movies wrap, what do? They send all the actors out to the press junket. They do all the meet and greet and talk about the movie and hype it up and get everyone excited. The exact same thing happened with NASA. Literally, those astronauts came back from outer space, landed on this Earth, and then immediately went out to the press junket. They didn't go into quarantine. They didn't go into let's readjust to Earth's atmosphere. They literally landed, got into a Tahoe, and just took off and went from state to state to different press conferences and talked to people about their movie that they made. One thing I love the most is when people say to any sort of conspiracy theory, they go, how could so many people fake it? They go, oh, there's thousands and millions of people who are involved in this such and such thing that there's no way they're all going to keep a secret, right? But what they don't fully understand is that it's not everyone that has to keep the secret. It's only a small few people who actually know anything. Think about like a corporation. You have the higher-ups who know everything, and then you have the people all the way down to the janitor. Do you think the janitor knows what the CEO knows? Do you think even middle management knows what the CEO knows? No. So why would we have to think that if someone was to fake something, that they would have to brainwash or keep everyone involved in the lie? No, it's like 5 people that they have to keep in the know. Everyone else they lie to, just like they're lying to us, the people. So it's actually really simple. It's called keep the people who know the truth silent, which is like a small group of people, and then lie to the rest of them. Even the people that are in the next rooms that are actually working on it, you lie to them. And you tell them nothing about what's actually happening. You tell them exactly what you want everyone else to know. It's that simple. And yet all these smart people are like, oh, there's millions of people involved. How are they all, keeping a secret? It's not millions, just a handful. Okay, I've literally only been questioning NASA and space for 4 days, okay? Before 4 days, I didn't question anything in my entire 38 years on this planet. And in these 4 days, I have learned what they do. This is what they do. They shut you down by calling you stupid. They don't actually use the word stupid, but what they do is they drop knowledge on you, and inside that knowledge is them calling you stupid. They think they're clever, but it's very obvious what they're doing. The other thing they like to do is call people crazy. These are tactics that NASA and all of the people involved in space use to keep people at bay. Okay? So why would they do that? Well, nobody wants to be called stupid, and definitely people don't want to be called crazy because you could be locked up for that. So these are genius tactics to keep the false narrative running and to keep people in check. And it is aggressive what these people do. And these are people that aren't even involved in the lie. These are just regular people who are so deep in NASA and in space that they can't even see the truth. So what do? They hear someone speak something opposite to that, and they attack hard. And they attack with knowledge, and they attack with subtle digs, okay, that are very obvious. And it is shocking. So I don't know what is actually real and what is actually fake, but just in the last 4 days, I have learned so much, and it is shocking, and it's quite scary. All right, let's start talking about the truth of NASA, and it doesn't have anything to do with space. Check this out. NASA started in 1940 something. Just shortly thereafter, they made the Big Bang mainstream. Okay? The Big Bang has been around since 1920 something, and it was on the fringe. Not everyone was believing in it. But NASA comes along and they push it straight into the mainstream to the point where everyone is going crazy over the Big Bang. What does the Big Bang mean? It means there is no God. There is no Jesus. There is no Bible. What happens shortly thereafter? They remove the Bible religion from schools, church versus state. NASA was a part of that. That was a big push, okay? So they removed the Bible from the schools, so kids are literally sitting there going, I don't know what is the point of life. So what does NASA do? 1980. They go, we're going to push the space initiative into the schools. We're going to put a teacher in space, and we're going to get all these kids to believe in space, believe in the Big Bang, and we're going to start indoctrinating them very, very early. So by the point that they get old enough, they will be so locked in, like they are right now, that they can't see the truth. Because NASA is a religion. Space is a religion. To believe in gravity is no different than to believe in God, Jesus Christ, the Bible. People left religion to find something new, and what they found was NASA and space and the Big Bang. And now they have the same thing. Gravity. Can you touch it? Can you see it? Can you feel it? No. Is there proof it exists? No. There is no proof it exists. There's theories. There's ways of showing things, but it doesn't, there's no concrete evidence on that. It's the same thing about God. So NASA has an agenda. That agenda is very simple. Every step of the way, it's been strategic to remove God from the minds of humans. Remove God from this earth. The Big Bang does that. So next time you think that you believe in God and you follow something NASA says, you need to rethink what you actually believe in. So one thing people like to say if you question NASA is, where did you get your PhD? Where did you get your knowledge? Why don't you see it clearly? If you can't see it, then it doesn't exist, right? But if I had the same schooling and the same knowledge as you, commenter, I wouldn't be making these videos because I'd be brainwashed, which is what I was like a week ago. Literally a week ago, I was on board, round Earth, spinning through infinity. I was on board just like you. And then I watched Artemis2, and I said, no. I said, no, this is too fake. It's too fake. And that's when I unraveled 38 years of believing in NASA and space and all this crap, right? And then I started looking into NASA, and I found that they have an agenda, and it's very simple. Remove God from this planet by making it a planet. So it's really funny how if you believe in God, then you cannot believe in NASA. And if you believe in NASA, you cannot believe in God. So it's just ridiculous, though. These commenters are commenting like only smart people can believe in NASA. And they're calling me stupid. A week ago I believed. I was like you, and then I woke up. It's just so funny how they just look at you and they just call you another. You're just another. You're just a worthless person because you don't know what NASA is spewing out. And it's just so hilarious. It's like, I literally was you a week ago. Oh my. Not once did the Artemis2 crew talk about the flag that is on the moon. Not once did the Artemis2 crew talk about the historic site on the moon where humans actually landed, where there's possibly some parts from stuff that was left behind. Not once did they say that is on our list to attempt to see or photograph or video. Not one time did they ever say that. From takeoff to lassoing around the moon because they're cowboys, to re-entering the Earth and landing back on Earth and going through their whole press conference, their whole meet and greet with the press. Not once did they talk about that. I call fake. I say that is proof positive there was no humans on the moon. No human has left this Earth. This was all fake, people. Otherwise, how do you explain that? Like 54 years of people saying the moon landing was fake. And not one single bit of actual evidence to prove it was real was taken during those 7 days. I say fake. They had cameras that could zoom all the way in and probably see, an insect crawling around on the moon. Not that they exist, but you know what I'm saying. They could have zoomed in. They had the cameras to zoom in. They didn't zoom in on the moon. Are you kidding me? You're flying by a moon. Nope, they're too busy hitting a plushie toy. They're too busy playing with their food as it floats in front of them. Too busy with CGI green screen glitches. So I'm having a little back and forth with someone right now in the comment section, and they're saying that in Job, it says that the earth is floating basically, and there's space all around us. But if you keep reading, it says that God speaks back to Job and basically says that the earth is beyond human comprehension, right? You cannot understand what the earth actually is fully. Just like you can't see God. If you saw God, you would be just wrecked, because the human mind is not designed to understand God. It's not designed to understand where earth is. That's not the point. The point is we come here as a spirit, enter into this flesh body, and then live a material life to learn what's on this earth, right? But I want to ask you, who benefits from the earth being round and having gravity and floating in outer space? Do you benefit from it? No. Does Elon Musk benefit from it? Yes, because he goes up into space. Does NASA benefit from it? Yes, because NASA goes up into space. All the people involved in outer space, which we know is fake because there's a firmament covering this earth that does not allow us to go through. That's why it's called the glass ceiling. So you, the regular person working a 9 to 5, do not benefit from the earth being round. So you have to ask yourself, why did NASA come along and push round earth, the Big Bang, gravity into the mainstream just after it was formed. You have to ask yourself that. Why are we all saying the Earth is round? It doesn't benefit anybody except for a few people who make trillions of dollars off of it. Okay, so here's the thing that's really, really funny, and I want you guys to try to wrap your heads around this. If someone is pushing back against the mainstream and they're saying that the Earth is not round like we're being told, they have nothing to gain, only stuff to lose. They're going to lose their credibility. They're going to lose their, people are going to call them crazy. People are going to call them all these names and just rip them apart. So it's like when someone is saying that we, the people, sent up a balloon and took a photo of a flat Earth, there's nothing to gain there. But when someone comes along and says the Earth is round and there's gravity and the Big Bang and dinosaurs and outer space and planets, those people are making billions and trillions of dollars off of that information. So why is it so hard to believe a regular 9-to-5 working American versus a corporation which has been known to be problematic and troublesome since the very beginning? And the founder of NASA, go look that person up because dude's not a saint. So this is how NASA functions. This is their playbook. You first come up with a lie. Then you use math to prove that lie is truthful. Then you go into the schools and you teach that lie, all the lies, to the kids. Those kids will grow up and they will literally fight tooth and nail until their last breath that what they have learned is truthful and what you're telling them is false. That is genius right there. That is absolutely genius. NASA, I have to tip my hat to you. Like, that's pretty amazing what you achieved in just a short amount of time. From the 80s to now, you have completely brainwashed millions and millions of people into believing in your lies. It's working, guys. NASA is slipping. The pressure is on. I don't think they're ever going to the moon. Check this out. Instead of going to the moon in late 2027 like they were supposed to and actually putting boots on the ground, now they're going to just do this hilarious theater act in orbit where they dock. They're just going to dock in orbit, which is so easy to fake. So they're like, okay, we're going to get some more fake footage out there. We're going to use our green screens and CGI as we comprehend how to fake the moon landing. So what's going to happen is when they do their docking in orbit, obviously people are going to call them out on all their glitches and how it's fake, and then they're going to process that, and they're going to probably do another one at some point in 2028. They're just gonna slowly push it back. I guarantee you it's gonna be probably 50 years till there's an actual moon landing, if that. I believe that 14,000 rocket engineers worked on the Orion rocket, but I do not believe that Artemis2 went around the moon. I believe that hundreds of hardworking, amazing people worked in mission control for the Orion rocket to launch, but I do not believe that Artemis2 went around the moon. I believe that the live stream was done by people who actually care about their job and their live streaming and their tech, but I don't believe that Artemis2 went around the moon. And this has nothing to do with technology. It has nothing to do with God. It has nothing to do with NASA. It has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that I looked at those astronauts in that capsule and my gut feeling was, this is false. They did not have any look of anyone in any sort of stress period. Again, I don't care how much medication you put them on. I don't care how much training you put them on. I don't care about anything other than the fact that when you look at them in those videos, go back and watch them. They do not look like they're doing something that only a handful of humans have ever done before. They don't have that look. And don't push back and say, oh, that's on camera. Oh, yeah. No. These were people who were reading their lines. They were then getting out of that capsule, going to get some Chipotle, getting back in that capsule and filming some more. These were not people going around the dark side of the moon, which no human has ever done. No. So that is why I stand strong. I don't stand on science. I don't stand on mathematics. I don't stand on geometry. I stand on human to human. That's where I said, this is all fake. And that was back when the mission was going on. And now I'm way far away from that, going, everything NASA's telling us is fake. So this time last year, I was locked in on round Earth. Every time I heard anyone talk about anything other than round Earth, I was like, that person is having a legit psychotic break. And then I watched the Artemis2 mission, and I said, that is not real. Those humans are not really up there. There's nothing about them that says that they are doing something only a handful of humans have ever done in history on this Earth. So then I slowly started to understand more and more and more about the demonic NASA behavior, right? And then I started to understand that the Earth being round is linked to atheism and is linked to the demonic. And the world being round allows for people to sin without any understanding that they are sinning. And then I understood that this is a simple good versus evil story. This is not people having a psychotic break. This is people waking up to the fact that they were locked in on sin but did not know it. This is a I want to go to heaven or I'm not going to go to heaven story. Round Earth, you're not going to heaven. Anything other than round Earth, yeah, you've understood and you woke up and you see the truth. And I don't understand how for 38 years, the only type of Earth for me was round. There was no other option. And for everyone, I think. And that's why when we first started hearing people say there was another option, we were like, those people are insane. That's literally what I said when I first heard them, like, 10 years ago or something. I said, those people are insane. And then you wake up and understand that this is a biblical story that's unfolding right now. And we're all a part of it.